Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Marowak. Now, I really like Marowak. Very cool Pokemon. Always liked it since it came out. I think the design of Cubone and Marowak, I just really enjoy it. Overall, though, its stats don't have like a lot of really good placement. That you have good defense, alright attack, and then, you know, special defense, it's not the most needed thing, but then you have poor speed, poor special attack, and poor hit points. So overall, it makes it a very tricky Pokemon to use. However, it does get an exclusive item, Thick Club. What Thick Club does is it doubles its attack. So with EVs, with the nature, your attack starts to climb up really high off the scale, which means if you can do something about it, you have a very high attack to work with, and that could be a very good thing to use. On top of that, it's just a pure ground type Pokemon. So we've kind of seen this typing, we should know everything about it. You have that immunity to electric, you also have all those weaknesses in grass, ice, and water, and then you resist poison and rock. And that's pretty much all you need to know about ground type Pokemon. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, looking at Marowak, I was thinking Double Battle is probably the best spot for it. That if you can get a Trick Room up and make use of that poor speed, you protect on the first turn, set up Trick Room on that turn, and then you have Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide for coverage and a great amount of double hits while you have an incredible amount of attack. At level 100, your attack soars over 560. So once we drop down to level 50 for a little extra scale, you know, almost 300 attack at level 50 with that Thick Club, so you can get a lot of damage in there. Earthquake, if you have a Pokemon with Levitate or Telepathy that's also going to be setting up the Trick Room, that works very well. Or you can just switch into a Flying type Pokemon since you're going to get a high priority KO anyway. Iron Head, getting fairy coverage, Rock Slide, extra coverage, and is going to hit really hard with that attack. So try to have Pokemon that hit both Pokemon twice. A Rock Slide or an Earthquake ganging up with another double hitting move, that could be devastating, and that's going to get Marowak a lot of KOs. In singles, bit more of a tricky Pokemon. I was thinking about just going with a defensive bulky Pokemon that can just kind of be used to wall out and break down some defensive walls, and it can be pretty strong in that regard, that you go with the hit points, go with the attack. I was thinking Impish Nature, that way you get the most out of its defense, and on top of that, you should be good from there. Meant to have the point in special defense as well. So you can get a lot of good use out of it. With Rockhead, you do have Double Edge for a good neutral hit, also Fire Punch and Boomerang. I was also thinking that the best thing that you want to do is get a substitute set up. If you're going up against a Pokemon that's trying to set up a stall or trying to set up some kind of status, stealth rocks, doing its own thing, you get behind a substitute, score a KO from behind it, and then really keep that momentum, you can probably turn Marowak into a good 1 or 2 extra KOs, or at least a good amount of chip damage, because it has a lot of damage. A Thick Club plus the stab from Boomerang or Earthquake is just amazing. Now, the reason why I have Boomerang instead of Earthquake, while it does have less accuracy, you have the chance to break Sturdy or Focus Sash, so it's just one of those things to consider. Multi-hit moves are pretty good in that regard, so you might have to use it. Fire Punch for just Ferrothorn coverage, unless Ferrothorn is fully invested into defense, like 252, 252, you have a good chance of KOing it with Fire Punch, which is nice, and then Double Edge, like I said, for just a good amount of neutral damage if you can't hit with Fire Punch or Boomerang well. After that, I was thinking, what you could do is also have a Pokemon that has Speed Boost Baton Pass, that with the Jolly Nature, you can get your speed up really high, so if you get 2 speed boost, 1 attack boost, now you have very fast Marowak that's going to be able to Bone Club down any Focus Sash threats or any Sturdy threats that might have a problem with it. And if you can get, you know, Swords Dance into it or any other stat boost like a defense or special defense boost, now this is going to be scary. Now you have a Marowak that's going to have an absurd amount of attack because of that Thick Club, untouchable in its speed, and it can just break down a team right there. Boom, 6-0 with Marowak. Does take the Baton Pass, but Baton Pass does have that strength. I think Marowak is one of those Pokemon that if you're going to run a Baton Pass chain, it can benefit very well because of that Thick Club. So don't count Marowak out if you're using a Baton Pass. It can be very strong, has a good amount of coverage as well, make it work. Other than that, you know, I just still see it best being a doubles Pokemon. It has a lot of multi-hits, it has that speed if you can get that Trick Room set up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's how you use Marowak.